Every day, energy is constantly wasted in the form of heat. Whether it be from coal plants, gas turbines, or even solar cells, we lose heat, which means that we lose potential energy that could be used for practical uses such as electricity. By converting this waste heat directly into electricity, the efficiency of our modern energy production could greatly increase. But converting heat energy directly into electricity is no easy feat. However, with the help of photonic crystals and metamaterials, it is possible. Metamaterials are an engineered medium made to produce effects and characteristics not possible with materials found in nature. They are often created with a repeating structural pattern of metal or polymers which give them their unique physical properties. By design, metamaterials are created to only allow a certain spectrum of wavelength to propagate through. Thus, their structures are manufactured at a scale smaller than the wavelength of interest, a scale that ranges from micrometers to nanometers. A subset of metamaterials are known as photonic crystals. They are primarily used to manipulate the movement of photons and wave radiation. Electromagnetic radiation is the way heat energy travels through space, and it holds properties of both particles and waves. So how are metamaterials applied to transform heat into electricity? Well, it is done through thermophotovoltaics, or TPV for short, in combination with metamaterials. TPVs are essentially the same as the standard solar cell. Incoming radiation interacts with the semiconductors to produce an electrical current. However, these cells are limited by the wavelength and energy of radiation due to their semiconductors. Semiconductors are devices that restrict electron flow. They are usually made of two bodies of metal and an insulator between them, where an electron must travel in order to move from one body to another. Metamaterials can be used to solve this issue by converting incoming radiation into a usable form. Metamaterials act similarly to semiconductors in terms of restriction, but instead of inhibiting electron movement, they are used for photons. They prevent radiation of different wavelengths from passing through, except for a small range. This greatly increases the concentration and intensity of a targeted wavelength to excite the semiconductor. And here's how. The difference between photovoltaics, like solar cells, and thermophotovoltaics is the use of radiation heat transfer. A film of sorts placed next to the metamaterial absorbs all incoming radiation, no matter the spectrum. As this happens, the structure gets hot, hotter than its surrounding environment. As it rises to a certain temperature, only a small spectrum of radiation wavelength is allowed to excite the semiconductor. Other wavelengths are not allowed to pass, and thus remain in the structure and cannot propagate. Their energy is funneled to the single wavelength. Thus, radiation, no matter the source or the wavelength, can be used. The metamaterial emitter will be able to transform incoming radiation into a condensed form. In conjunction with metamaterials, the overall efficiency of TPV devices can be greatly increased, thus resulting in less waste energy and a brighter future for energy production. This is just one way metamaterials are changing technology and what we think is possible through engineering.